understanding tax debt forgiveness, amnesty program, IRS write-off balances down to zero, a lot of different things. And here's exactly what you need to know. My name is Sergio Melendez. I'm an enrolled agent, Juris doctorate. I have over 19 years experience resolving IRS tax debt. I have personally resolved hundreds of millions of dollars on behalf of my clients as their power of attorney. And I'll tell you this much, whenever you need tax help, you have a tax debt in collections, and you hear about all these programs, how the IRS writes off millions, you qualify for forgiveness. If you look at a paid advertisement, it is probably the wrong source to look at. A lot of these advertisements also go for the Fresh Start initiatives. The Fresh Start initiatives, it's maybe a series of laws that didn't directly impact or there's one particular thing that's being offered to you. What it is being used now is a marketing employment by a lot of these companies that are powered by salespeople. So the moment you're on the phone with a salesperson, they're not giving you tax advice. They're nowhere near qualified to do that. More than likely, they're following some kind of script and they're trying to get money from you from that very first phone call. So the first thing you have to realize is that there's no magic pill. There's nothing that it's automatically and you could kick back. It's actually the opposite. What happens with tax debt, you have to take action. Whether you do hire a power of attorney or you're dealing with this directly with the IRS. It's your action. It's your mentality to say, I want to do whatever it takes to fix this. You don't just hire somebody, pay them, and let them do all the work. They do a lot of the heavy lifting, but it requires your participation to do so. Second thing for you to do is go ahead and fix whatever caused you to be in tax in the first place. Because if you get out of it, you cannot have anything new the following year. If not, the whole thing might come right back. You don't want that. So you have to fix it. That means you got to go back, do your W-4 if you're a wage earner, or if you're in business, get in control of your finances. Separate the business and personal, and then maintain a profit and loss and see what's really going on in your taxes, what's really going on in your business. And if you're not making estimated tax payment, that is one key important aspect regarding certain tax relief programs. These agents will review if you're making these payments or not. And if you're not, you're going to get kicked right out of any program. So make these estimated tax payments. Third is a very key aspect regarding what's known as the statute date. I want you to picture, it's called the 10-year rule. That is the moment you owe money to the IRS has 10 years to collect. You want to keep that in mind when evaluating these tax relief programs. Now, if you owe for multiple years, each year has its own write-off date, its own statute date, its own 10-year rule. So let's say you owe for tax years 2009, 2010, all the way on up to 2018, right? The 2009, if you owe because of an audit, you're going to owe the moment that audit is finished, the moment the IRS processes the balance, that's when the 10 years starts ticking. So if you went through this long, arduous process of an audit, you filed for certain extensions, went through tax court, and now you owe it, and let's say you owe because in 2017 it got finalized, that means in 2027 is when the IRS will write off that balance down to zero. And you got to keep that in mind for every single year. It depends on why you owe, when the processing time is. Next on up is a tax relief program. So there's basically 3 financially based programs people qualify for that are considered part of forgiveness. The offer and compromise is the number 1. And check out my video on offer and compromise program. If that CSED date is quite a ways away, you would want to heavily invest into looking to see if you qualify for the offer and compromise program because the statute date is so far away. Now, if the collection statute is right around the corner, then the non-collectible or the partial payment plan or the PPIA might be the better solution to settle out your taxes. And the reason why is because those programs rely heavily on when that statute date is. And these settlement programs follow the basic idea. What is your gross monthly income? You subtract out your living expenses and get your net disposable income. Now, in addition to your net disposable income, we have to see what kind of assets do you have. Do you have equity in assets? Are you able to liquidate assets to pay off your tax debt? Is it going to create another burden, another tax burden? If you do so, are you able to borrow off that equity? Or if you do get approved, will that create a predatory loan where you're not able to repay back that loan? All of it is going to be evaluated by the IRS to see if it's worthwhile for them to go ahead and approve you with one of these tax relief programs. So when it comes to forgiveness in IRS, it's not automatic and it's not easy. What happens is it's a review of the totality of your circumstances. Everything that I mentioned plays a very big important role, including getting caught up in tax filings, taking a look at the reasons why you got in trouble and fixing it for the future. Your mentality is a very big role, whether you want to do whatever it takes to fix it, whether you hire somebody or do things on your own, very important. And a review of your current finances, whether it would just make sense for you to just establish one of the alternative solutions rather than go through the financial hardship route. One and key important aspect that I always mention is what is the source of the tax problem? Could there be some kind of audit reconsideration or some kind of assessment reconsideration program that exists out there for you to supply additional and new information on the older tax year that you never presented in the past? Because that's exactly how you want to take this on. You don't want to aim for just one particular thing. You want to review your entire situation and choose what is best. Once you do that, you're going to be on a much better route. And once you evaluate the totality of your circumstances, you're going to realize, okay, this is probably my aim, my goal, within my reach, and that's what I'm going to aim for. And if you're having tax problems and want to know what's the best way to fix your problem, my team will reach out and we'll coordinate a free case review. Appreciate your support. Make sure you like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.